Literally everybody that comes to me has this problem. Everybody's great from Monday to Friday, and then the weekend comes around and we all know what happens on the weekend. But conquering the weekends could be the difference between seeing the results that you want and deserve, or being stuck and not seeing the results you want forever. Now take it from a guy who used to be a slave to my weekends every single weekend for years, to now being a guy who conquers his weekends and is building massive momentum doing it. So if you're ready to conquer the weekend and change your life, let's get started. What's good, YouTube? John Mango back again, repping Beyond the Iron. You know how we do it. Weekly content helping you get to your fitness goals faster and more enjoyably, if that's even a damn word. So hit the subscribe button if you're interested in that. Stay until the end of the video. That's where I'm going to explain exactly how I've conquered my weekends. A little bit of a backstory as to where I was, because I think a lot of you can relate to where I am now and the difference it's made in my life and the lives of my clients. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Let's quickly go over the reasons why people mess up on the weekends and what you need to conquer it. The first is always going to be the first, and that is mentality. Most people just inherently think, well, they did great Monday to Friday. They think, how bad can I get on the weekend? And inevitably, they always get pretty damn bad, and they start back at square one, or they've just held themselves back from seeing the potential results they could have, which in the long term will be extremely detrimental. Look, the reality is that's a short-term mindset. The person is not prepared for the weekend. Most people go into the weekend with no plan at all, right? Because there's no structure. They're not working. Maybe they wake up at this time, maybe they wake up at that time, maybe they go out with their friends, maybe they stay home. All these things lead to complete unpredictability, and that reflects in their nutrition as well. Look, that's the short-term mindset that you need to get rid of. This is a lifestyle that you need to create. Conquering your weekends is going to be part of that. It's inevitable. No person on this planet that's in great shape just goes great Monday to Friday and ruins it all on the weekend. So if you think you deserve a break because it's the weekend, then you're always going to lose. You need to understand that, look, 5 days of consistency is not consistency. Try 5 months and then maybe you could take a weekend off. The next thing you need is flexibility. You see, everybody's always still stuck on these restrictive diets, on these restrictive techniques, cutting the carbs, cutting the alcohol, cutting this and cutting that, which ultimately just makes it harder for them to live the lives that they want. I'm not saying that you should binge drink all the time, but if you enjoy some drinks, if you want to go out and have some drinks with your friends, if you want to have 1 or 2 slices of pizza instead of the whole damn thing, then guess what? You will be much more successful if you include those things in your diet by tracking calories, tracking macros, and fitting them into that, than trying to take the extremist approach of just cutting it all out together forever, cut carbs and keto for the rest of your life. Because unless you do it for the rest of your life, you're not going to stick to it, and it's not going to yield you any results. Remember, it's all about staying on point 80% of the time, 80% of your day, 80% of the week, 80% of the year to ultimately see results. That other 20% can be a little bit of alcohol. It can be a little bit of the pizza and the donuts. But the issue is most people make that at least 50%, 60, 80%. That's the reason why it's an issue. Again, I mess up too sometimes, but the times that I mess up on my diet is only 20% of the time max. And so for that reason, I'm able to win most of the time. The weekend is no excuse. You need to be good 80% of the weekend itself as well. 80% of the week alone is not good enough, because you can go so far over in your calories on the weekend that it turns into a 50-50 balance. The third thing is you got to get rid of these stupid excuses of thinking and saying that, oh, I had my mom's birthday. I can't not eat like garbage on my mom's birthday. I had my brother's, whatever. I had a family member's this, that. I had to go out with friends. Look, just because you have an event, I don't know how people think that, I don't even know how I have to address this, how stupid it is, but people think they have an event, therefore it means they're not going to be on track. People always say, yeah, no, I'm going to have this event, so I know I'm going to be off track. What kind of weak, dumbass mentality is that? People see it as a dichotomy, right? It's like you can either go out to an event or you can be fit. That's the dumbest shit of all time, and that's the reason why 90% of people fail. Put them together. You can do both. I go out with my friends, and guess what? I wake up the next day closer to my goal. I go out to my family dinners. Guess what? I wake up the next day closer to my goals, and I enjoy myself just as much, if not more more so because I'm not waking up the next morning feeling like shit from drinking more alcohol than you ever need to. I'll even use the example of one of my good clients, Carrie. Carrie told me how she actually brought her own sauce to a restaurant, right? In a little bowl, she brought a sauce because she knew that when she goes to that restaurant, typically she overeats on this dish that has this sauce. So guess what? People think, oh, that's a little extreme. Well, if she's gonna get to her goals and you're not, why is that extreme? Just because you're not willing to do something that's not even that much work, not that much more effort, because you care about what others think about you, because you're afraid of looking a little weird, guess what? Being fit is weird. Most people are fat, out of shape, and are gonna die early as a result of it. So you're gonna have to do some things that are a little bit out of the norm if you wanna be fit and still enjoy those events, because guess what? They're both possible, and again, you'll enjoy it even more so. And that's another thing. Bullshit excuses of family events, that's what I want to dig into specifically, because people always, it's unbelievable how much I hear this. People always pull out the, oh, I'm Italian, I'm Portuguese, I'm, whatever the fuck, nobody cares. My mother would disown me. What kind of a bullshit lame ass excuse is that? You are weak-minded if you think that, because either that or guess what? Leave anyway. Leave the family. Don't give a shit what they think anyways. That's right. Because if your mom is going to get upset at you for reaching a goal that's making you healthier and better, and as a result your entire family healthier and better, guess what? I think she or your family needs the reality check. They're the ones that are wrong, not you. If they disown you, guess what? They fucked up. They messed up big time, because you're gonna get better and they're gonna get worse. Obviously, nobody's gonna get disowned simply because they didn't eat 10 slices of their mom's homemade lasagna. Why don't you have one and still see results? You see, this all kind of comes back to the mentality. Most people are just weak-minded and love to rack up the excuses that are so bullshit, it's hilarious. Stop doing that, and guess what? You're a million steps closer to conquering your weekend. And by the way, in case you're wondering, my family is Spanish and Italian, okay? Yeah, I got a little bit of flack for bringing the damn Tupperware to my Christmas dinner one year. And by the way, I don't recommend you do the same. That was when I was naive and thought that I had to be restrictive. Again, we spoke about that, but I was willing to do whatever it takes. And guess what? My family, yeah, they weren't too happy about it, maybe for a couple of seconds, and then they said, hey, now they look at me and they're like, damn, maybe we should bring Tupperware to the next Christmas dinner. The fifth thing is I want to offer you a tip, okay? A little challenge. For the next 7 days, try to go straight with your diet. Try to stay as consistent as you can. Try to stay within your calories and your macros for the next 7 days. Everybody loves planning for 5 days. Guess what? 5 days isn't a whole week. Plan for the next 7, and then at the end of the 7, the next Sunday or whatever it is, you're gonna have so much momentum going into the following week that it's gonna start you off on the right foot, and you're gonna realize what it means to conquer your weekends when it comes to seeing dramatic results and separating yourself from the crowd. And again, how I know all this is because I used to be there. I used to binge drink every single weekend for years, okay? Back in my high school days and my college days, I thought it was cool, and guess what? I was still trying to hit the gym all the time, and I wondered for years why I never saw results as much as that guy did, or the next girl or guy, right? And in my head, I thought, well, you know what? They don't have as much fun as I do. Or, you know what? I go out with my friends all the time. You know, I can't do both. Or, oh, that person's just got better genes, right? It's not that they're working harder. It's not that they're sacrificing more. It's not that they're conquering their weekends and moving everything towards their goal. Obviously, that was BS. And over time, it didn't happen overnight, but now I'm to the point where I don't drink alcohol anymore because I actually feel better without it. People that feel like they need alcohol to have a good time are simply lacking something within themselves to realize you will have better of a time without it. You never need an external substance to make you feel better, and if you think that you do, right now you're nodding your head and saying, what's this guy talking about? Of course, alcohol is a better time. Then, unfortunately, you've got a bigger problem to solve than just conquering your weekends. And so as that transformation began, I started waking up roughly the same time that I would on weekdays instead of sleeping in so late. I stopped binge drinking. I cut back to just a few drinks, going out with friends, and starting to get used to the fact of being, let's say, the designated driver, going out and being sober, to the point where I started becoming the life of the party, even though I didn't drink at all. Everybody else by the end of the night's all, mangled and all over the place, and I was still here with plenty of energy, and I felt better the next day. I was crushing my goals. I still enjoyed myself. I went to all my family events. I stopped bringing Tupperware to Christmas dinners, and I realized, guess what? I can make it all happen, and so can you. So my challenge to you is to pick one thing that you're going to do differently from now on for your weekends. Maybe it's wake up earlier. Maybe it's plan and prep for those weekends when it comes to your food. Maybe it's track when you go out with your friends. Maybe it's stop binge drinking as much. Whatever the case is, set the goal and start hitting it, and watch how much conquering your weekends one step at a time is going to change your results and your life. And if you're interested in knowing the 4 keystone habits you need to maximize that and seamlessly implement it into your life so you can enjoy the lifestyle you want with your friends, family, and everything else and still see results, then click the link below to get my free case study video I made explaining to you exactly how to do that in detail. With that said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did, hit the dislike if you're ready to get roasted, share with your friends, subscribe so you don't miss out the videos I'm dropping every damn week. That's it. I'm out.